Right, yes. Good afternoon, everybody. Andrew from ABFM here. And as you know, we are a firm of independent financial advisors based up in Glasgow. We offer advice on life insurance, health insurance, pensions and investments. So what I'm going to do today, normally when I do these presentations, as you've seen, I've done them on frequently asked questions that we get. I've done them on pensions and ISAs. I thought I would do something today a little bit different and focus on the business protection that we offer. But as I say, first of all, that's a bit of us. Based in Mulgai, which is a town just outside of Glasgow, we offer advice on life insurance, health insurance, and pensions. And we've got nearly 50 years of experience now in the industry between myself and my father. Within the office of sales, we've got the two advisors, myself and my dad, who's about to walk past the screen, I think, in a minute. We've got my mum, who's the office manager, compliance officer, essentially. And then we've got two paraplanners. We've got Margaret, who sits opposite me, and we've got Edwin, who's on my left-hand side. Edwin's been here for 2.5 years, and Margaret's been here probably 15, 16 years now. So yeah, we're pretty tight-knit group. And we've got half a member, Harvey the dog, who comes in sort of 2, sometimes 3 times a week, causes mischief and chaos, and it's just good fun with him. So yeah, that's us in the office layout. So what I'm going to talk about today is a thing called shareholder protection. Why it's important to have shareholder protection, but more importantly than that, why it's important to have the right shareholder protection. And what else can you, as a business, offer your employees from a business protection point of view. So we're doing this as a case study. Obviously, the names are changed, but it's a case study of 3 brothers who own a garage. And so for the purpose of this, they're called Tom, Dick and Harry, because it was 3 names that came from my favourite film, The Great Escape. So there we go. So basically, as I say, Tom, Dick and Harry own a garage. They're 3 brothers and they own 33% each of the business. There's multiple staff, but they're the only 3 shareholders within the business. And they've not considered protecting themselves or the business in the event of them dying, because they believe that the family business is very strong and they want their wives to get an income from the business if and when they do die. However, inevitably, one by one, the brothers do die. So first of all, we've got Tom, and Tom dies, and his shares pass to his wife called Ali. Dick, the second brother, then later dies, and his shares pass to his wife, who's called Kirsty. Now, we'll throw in now that Kirsty and Ali are sisters, which is quite important. Now, I'm opening us up to the floor here. Does anybody know why this might be a problem? If you do, shout out, Yanis.
Sorry, I can't. Kirsty and Ali.
Yeah, so they're sisters.
Because the 2 of them together have now got the majority of the business.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it, Keith. So what was once a family business between 3 brothers, the remaining brother is now a minority holder in his own family business.
And he doesn't get on with them. Exactly.
Yeah. So Ali and Kirsty now own 66%, nearly 67% of the business. Harry's a minority business holder, and Kirsty and Ali, as Yana says, might not like him and could actually turf him out of his own business. How could this be prevented, or could this have been prevented? And the answer is yes, it could. By setting up a shareholder protection with a thing called a cross-option agreement, this protects both the individuals and the business. So I'll explain this and what I was just talking about in my 60 seconds. I'll try not to use jargon, but we'll give it a shot. You've got 3 brothers who take out the shareholder protection through the business, and they're the life insured themselves. But you get what you call a cross-option agreement, where they sign up with the policy who they want the shares to go to, etc. Now, Tom and Ali, who are married, as I say, Tom could say, in the event of my death, I want my shares to go to Ali. But the cross-option agreement is also with the other shareholders. If the shareholders do not want Ali to get the shares, she has no chance of getting them. They go to the money comes to the business to buy Ali's shares out, and she's got to give the shares back to the business. If both parties are willing to have Ali keep the shares, then the business gets the money and can do with it what it wants. But Ali can keep the shares. If the business wants Ali within the business and wants her to have the shares, but she doesn't want them, she says, no, give me the money, take the shares. they've got to give away the shares. So the only way both parties can remain within the business is if both parties agree. As soon as one wants the other one out, job's done. That's how it goes. So by having this cross-option agreement, Dick and Harry would then own 50% of the business each, which means it's still within the family. When Dick then dies, the same situation would happen. Kirsty would get the option of taking the shares or taking the money. If one of the parties wants her to have the money, the shares remain within the business, then all of a sudden Harry is now the 100% owner of the business. He can still keep Ali and Kirsty on to pay them, but they do not have shares within the business. So what this does is it protects the business, but most importantly, it protects the original shareholders and the individuals themselves from their own family business. So it's very important that if you do take out shareholder protection, make sure you have a cross-option agreement, because it's legally binding, that it protects the individual, not just in a financial way for the business, but it protects them for their business. Other services that we can provide, see, the main thing there would be keyholder protection, but we also can help with private medical insurance, key person insurance, and relevant life insurance. Now, these are all very important business protection sides of things as well. So let's stay with the case study of the garage, and we've got a very rare diagnostics technician who works within the garage, who has now had a knee injury and is awaiting knee replacement because he can't walk anymore, because he used to play football or rugby or whatever it was. But the NHS waiting times are 2 to 3 years for this. He can't do his job anymore, so he's now got a problem. The garage has now got a problem because they now need to find a new person to do this. The garage can take out private medical insurance for their members of staff as a staff benefit, and the medical procedure will get done a lot quicker. So, for example, knee surgery can get done within 4 weeks potentially. Maybe there's another 4-6 week recovery period, but that's looking potentially, you could be talking about a 10 or call it 3 month period where the guy's off, rather than not being able to work for maybe 3 years if he's waiting in NHS, because NHS waiting times are through the roof at the moment. Another business protection policy you can do is what we call key person insurance, and that protects, again, it's the business takes it out for the business in the interest of a member of staff. So again, the diagnostics technician he's been diagnosed with cancer or a heart attack, and he's unable to work. The business would receive a lump sum of money to go and find a new person to fulfill that job role. That could be done on a temporary basis, that could be done on a permanent basis if the employee can't come back, or they can use it to pay the employee, because they might still need to pay him a salary whilst having somebody else. The money is up to them how they do it, but it's taken out to protect the key person. It used to be called key man insurance. It's now called key person insurance, and not key man, but it's the same product. So you may have heard of that already. And then the last one is what we call relevant life insurance, which is taken out for the individual, owned by the business. Now, generally speaking, relevant life is a death-only benefit. It's not critical illness. Some places do it with critical illness, but there is what's the word I'm looking for? There's a clause written into it that you must not return to work. So if you must be retired from the work if you claim in this. So again, if you have cancer, you must then retire and not go back to work for the policy to pay out. So the majority, there's only one provider does that. The majority just do it on a death-only benefit. Again, it's a great staff retention. It's almost, I suppose, a bit like a death service benefit. But the difference in this would be, let's use Vanessa Mary as an example here. She works for a big company, Company A, has a relevant life policy. The company has a relevant life policy for Vanessa Mary, but if Vanessa Mary then decides to leave and go and set up her own business, she can actually take ownership of the policy from the business, from the company, and they can transfer it to her ownership, so that she doesn't need to go through medical underwriting, doesn't need to go through an application process, because you might have taken it out 20 years ago. Obviously, you're now 20 years older, so therefore it's going to be more expensive. You might have health conditions now that you didn't have at the time, so it would also be more expensive. So from that point of view, you can transfer the ownership from the business either to yourself individually or to the new business that you're working for. That's a breakdown really of the 4 main protection policies that a business can use. The other big advantage of doing it through the business is you can reduce your corporation tax, because it reduces your profits. and by reducing your profit, you therefore pay less corporation tax. So it's a win-win for all parties. The individuals are protected, the business is protected, and the business is paying less tax. So that's a breakdown of the four main protection policies. I say I don't speak about these too often because I mainly focus on pensions and investments. And again, just to finish off, I'm running short of time, a couple of quick testimonials that we've got from our clients. You conduct yourself and your business in ways friendly but not informal that inspire confidence in your abilities and in your integrity. That's my chap called John in Argyll. We find you to be a good communicator, patiently dealing with questions and helping us understand the background to your recommendations when we're naturally prone to inaction or to be sceptical. Yeah, that's a chap called John, who's based in Strathblane, which is near Glasgow. And again, that just goes to show that we offer a tailored service to all of our clients. What's right for one person might not be right for the other. Yeah, every person gets their own tailored service. Robin, who's based in Clarkston, again, just outside of Glasgow, says people rely on you for independent, professional, sound advice. And lastly, a chap called Alan, who's just outside Glasgow, again, said we provide an excellent service, trustworthy and easy to understand. And that highlights what I was saying about we don't use jargon because Alan's not a financial advisor. Alan doesn't even work in the finance industry. He is not going to have a clue what I am talking about if I use words like OICs and unit trusts and DTAs, etc. But if I talk in layman's terms of what the product is, what it does, he will understand and he's more than happy that way. So, yeah, Andrew from ABFM, we allow you to live for today and plan for tomorrow. Has anybody got any questions?